I think the most important is to not let yourself be influenced by all the noise, social media, the things you see. Don't believe everything you see. Question everything is something I always tell my boys. Question everything. Don't take anything for granted. And when it comes to taking the first steps, career-wise or whatever, believe in yourself. You can achieve anything you want to. There's nothing you can't do, but you have to be convinced within yourself that you can, and then you can be unstoppable, I think.
I'm Farah Shammas. Welcome to Hotel Talk. We hope you enjoy listening to this friendly conversation between people connected by real life in hotels.
Hello everyone, welcome to Hotel Talk, and today is really going to be a nice talk about hotels and many other interesting topics as well. I have with us a lovely lady who's been a friend for quite a few years and who has a similar but different, same but different background to me. We've both got a bit of Lebanese in us. Carine Khoury, who is currently the owner of Floral Image Cyprus. And I say currently because I know she's going to do loads more in her life. She doesn't sit still. She's a mummy of two, married to a hotelier from a hotel background herself. And she's also done so much already to date and is still very young. So, Carine, welcome to Hotel Talk.
Thank you, Farah. Thank you for inviting me. Thanks for the opportunity. And this is a very beautiful introduction. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Well, really, thank you for being here. And it's been ages that I've wanted to have you on here because I love promoting and highlighting ladies, powerful women, and also women who are powerful in their own right, but also support very much their husbands in demanding roles, which your husband definitely has. He's the general manager of a hotel and he's been a hotelier for a long time. You're a hotelier as well. And so I can't wait to get a bit into that, to let people know the dynamics of this side. And it's been a long time that I've wanted to address that in Hotel Talk.
Pleasure.
But let's start, first of all, by going into your interesting background, telling everyone a bit about who you are, all these different cultures that made you the beautiful you that you are, and how you ended up in Cyprus.
Okay. So as you mentioned in the introduction, I'm half Lebanese. My father was Lebanese, my mother German. And so I was born in Beirut. And we lived there until I was about 8. And then the Civil War brought us, after some back and fro, to Greece. And I grew up in Athens from 79 to 89. Which
yes, you left Lebanon in 79.
We left a couple of times, and then finally we had to leave in 79 and settled in Athens.
Yeah,
10 years.
So you did quite well actually, because you stayed for quite a bit.
Yeah, we went back and forth.
Yeah.
We spent 2 years in Germany at some point. I believe it was 76 to 78. I think. Then we went back again. Like so many others.
Yeah,
you
we've
think
all
it's
got the
over,
stories.
exactly, and you go back and then you leave again. A lot of stories there. But anyway, so yes, Greece, 10 years, and I left in 89 after. Sorry,
I'm like, and why Greece then? Why Greece and not
because of
Germany?
my father's work.
Okay,
Yes,
okay.
he settled here and had to start from scratch like many others, and set up something with he was in maritime reinsurance and set up an office with a colleague of his in Athens.
Okay.
And so we went to German school in Athens, and I graduated in 88 and left a couple of years later to go and study hotel management in Switzerland.
Wow. And okay, so I have to ask, because I'm always so intrigued. I'm not good at languages, and I'm so amazed by people who are. And you speak 4 languages? 6. Oh, you see, I'm even that. So, okay. How did, I mean, I know that's maybe for people who are listening to this and are bilingual, are like, oh, well, that's, it's what it is. But for the rest of us commoners that are not so language adept, tell us, okay, you had obviously Lebanese, German, maybe English is everywhere. But then the Greek, you were at German school. How and where are the other 2 languages from? I mean, how did you manage 6 languages?
I always say it's more luck than anything else, or circumstantial, actually. But yes, obviously Arabic, Lebanese with my father, German with my mother. we learned French and English at home because my parents communicated in French and English.
Okay,
So
yeah,
that's
and
already
French,
4.
all Lebanese speak.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So
For
that's
me.
already 4. In the Greek came obviously from Greece. I was only 10 when we moved there. So you pick up quickly, obviously, when you're younger. And Italian is another one.
Which you just decided 5 wasn't enough. And
Italian came because I went and lived in Rome for a while and worked there.
Okay.
And so if you speak French, you can pick up Italian fairly quickly. And that's how it happened.
Amazing. Amazing. I just love this. I don't know. I really pulled this short straw on this one.
But you are
because,
quite multilingual as well. You have at least 3, don't you?
No,
you have Greek.
I don't. I mean, okay, my Greek's okay. But I'm just not. I think maybe because I did literature, so I like being very proficient in a language, and so I always consider I'm fine with Greek. I feel shy, and then my Arabic was always because my mum's not Arabic, and I never lived there. I mean, I was literally, I always say, a child of the war. So I was born outside of Lebanon with, my dad traveling a lot. My mother didn't speak Arabic, so I learned it, but always with a heavy British accent. So that isn't very fun. And then I could understand much better than I could speak. But then I haven't been back in 6 years since I stopped studying. I only went back a couple of times a year. So yeah, you forget.
Yes, if you don't use it, you lose it.
Yeah, and French, I think we learned at school, but I was one of the worst students. It was just never a subject that I wanted to learn. You have to
love languages, it's true.
I think so.
My brain got conditioned, I guess, from very young to pick up quickly.
Yeah.
And I'm comfortable in all of them. So yes, I consider myself very fortunate.
Well, I think you're very determined. I think that's amazing. So, okay, then you went to study hotels. Why hotels? I love asking this to people.
It's for me, it was, I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do after school.
Like many.
Yes, exactly. And how can you know at 18 what you want to do for the rest of your life? It's one of those way too early decisions, I think. I looked at journalism, actually. I wanted to be a journalist.
I can imagine you as a journalist, actually.
That was really what I wanted to do. And then I looked into what you had to do, how long you had to study, and so on. And I found out that it was a very, very tedious and long road to being a journalist. And I wasn't up for studying a very long number of years, and I wanted to get into the action. So I did a personality and skills test, and quickly came out that I love working with people, that I had my languages, that I love traveling, all the things that the hotel brings us. And it, came down to, you should be looking at hotel management.
Yeah, hospitality.
So I did hospitality,
and so where did you go and study then?
I went to Caesar Rich Colleges, they were called at the time. It's in Bouveret on the Lake of Geneva, and it was such an amazing experience. It was a 2-year program. Fantastic, really.
Yeah.
Looking back with very fond memories. And
do you still have friends from that time?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You know what it's like.
I know. Some of my best friends are from university.
Exactly.
Really.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was superb. Wonderful time.
Oh, that's so nice. And then where did you go?
Then after graduating, we had Career Week, actually, and a lot of companies came and presented. And it was the time of the Euro Disney project.
Oh, yeah.
And they interviewed, you could apply, you could go and travel and see their presentation center. So we did all that with the school, and I applied, and I got accepted. So I went and was part of the opening team in Paris.
Oh, how exciting!
And it was amazing. And part of that project was also to be sent to America. So I spent a total of 6 months in Florida, getting Disney-fied. It was superb. Really, really nice.
So has it knocked the love of Disney out of you, or do you still have really fond affiliations with Disney?
No, it's a lifetime thing. Yeah. It doesn't leave you. It doesn't leave you. Simply also because I think they really, everything, all the cliches you hear about how Disney is amazing at everything they do and so professional. It's all true. Every single thing of it is true. They do instill in you so many wonderful values and qualities that you require for your career in hospitality, and they're unmatched. I do have to say what comes close is the Jumeirah mentality.
Interesting.
Close. So, yeah.
Well, I love Disney. Even before I had my kids, I was an adult in my 30s, and if, the week wasn't going to plan, I'll come home and whip on a Disney. Or Sunday afternoon, you'll find me watching Little Mermaid. I love it. So, and we took the kids a couple of years ago to Disneyland Paris, ex-Euro Disney. And when we entered and you hear the music and you see everything, and I had been back in 93 when it opened. 93 or 92?
92.
92.
April 92.
Yes, we went in April 92.
Oh.
And yes, and then it was exactly, so we went 2 years ago on the 30th anniversary, and again in April, so it's 30 years. And we walked in and we saw the castle and all, just the flowers. I can't get over the flowers and the tulips.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought anybody would think they were fake, and there was nothing fake. And I just don't know how those gardeners did it. I was just amazed. And I shed a tear. I was so just touched by everything.
It is. It's quite we went back. I have a lot of very, very fantastic lifelong friends from that time as well. And we did a 30-year reunion. And
we were probably there same time.
Possibly, yes. And because we were all working at the Disneyland Hotel, the Disneyland Hotel reopened. I don't know, you must have seen that in April again after 2-year thorough refurbishment. And so we went as the original opening team. We're invited by the hotel to go visit again.
Oh, how nice.
It was so emotional, like you said. Yeah. It was really quite something. And 30 years passed like that, and you don't even realize.
It's amazing, isn't it? Amazing. So tell us a bit about the Jumeirah. So, yeah, tell us where else have you worked, and tell us the gossip of the ins and outs of the different brands and chains.
I started off 2 years at Hilton, actually, because I wanted to be
sure. Lots of people have a Hilton. It's a really good.
So true.
It's a really good experience, I think, and training to have under your belt.
I chose it at the time because I wanted to be sure that hotels was what I wanted to do before investing in, the education. And it can be tough, as you know, as well. So I did 2 years in Athens at the Hilton. Was sure that that's what I wanted to do. And then went off to Cyprus.
Which is a nice hotel, yeah.
And that's not going to be a hotel anymore, I heard now. They're redoing it as a residential project, I believe.
That they've been redoing it, but they were going to redo it as a hotel. Have they changed now to?
Oh, maybe I got my facts wrong.
Yeah, interesting. We'll watch this space.
To look that up. Yeah, exactly. So then I did 9 years at Disney.
And 9.
Yes. 92,
wow.
Sorry, no, 92 to 99. 7 years.
Yeah,
7 years.
Still, that's quite a
7
good.
Years,
yeah.
Yes, 7 years. Then I started to get, I wanted to go somewhere else. And at the time I wanted to go to London, actually.
Okay.
So I was working with a recruitment agency, and I said, can you find me something in London? So nothing really that I liked. And then one day came a phone call. There's a really big project happening in Dubai. The Burj Al Arab, first 7-star hotel in the world. Would you like to go? I'm like, Dubai? I want to go to London. He's like, forget London. You speak Arabic, you should go to Dubai. So I started looking into it and very quickly was convinced that it was the next wonderful step for me to take. And off I went, which was another really great
wow.
project.
So you were on the pre-opening team of Burj Al Arab. Yes. And what were you doing there?
Director of Guest Services.
Wow.
And we were sitting in the basement while the whole thing was being built around us. It was another one of those unforgettable.
Insane. How long were you there for?
From 1999 to 2001.
Okay.
And in 2001, I was sent to London as part of the handover team because the management company took over what was the Hyatt in London, the Carlton Tower.
Yeah.
So I was sent over to be part of the handover team there. And I spent another 3 years in London with Jumeirah.
So you see, you manifested London. It came.
Yes, a little bit later. You're completely right. It came a little bit later. And it was supposed to come because that's where I met my husband.
Exactly. I was just about to say, well, where does your husband fit into all of this? Yeah.
In London.
Okay.
Yes. And in 2005, we came to Cyprus.
And did you ever think that you would, because you've, again, so many cultures in you and you have lived so many places in the world. Did you think, I'll end up with a German?
No.
Or did you think, I'd be with a Lebanese or a British or an American?
No. because I think often I get the question of what do you really feel culturally?
Yes.
And I used to say when I was younger, I'm confused at the best of times,
Yeah.
but I'm not anymore. And I think similar to you, probably very, very much that all these different components make who you are.
Yeah.
And without that, you'd be a different
Yeah.
person. But I didn't think I was going to marry a German. No.
So what do you feel like if someone says, "Where are you from?"
I usually say, I'm Lebanese German or German Lebanese.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it comes out that way.
Yes,
Sometimes
yes.
it comes out the
Depends
other
who you're
way.
talking to, yeah.
And I grew up in Greece. I do always say that.
Yeah.
Because those were formative years.
Yeah.
10 years, from 10 to 20, literally. And those are the years that shape you, don't they?
Yeah. It's quite interesting because, I mean, we've seen both. We see, don't we? I mean, families that are very much like ours, cultural mix or melting pot. And the kids are very confused and they don't always have a base and they don't know where to identify. And, I mean, there's so many reasons why a kid can go off the rails, but that can often be quite a significant part of their life that doesn't contribute to them feeling secure or as part of a community. But I'd say in my case, I always kind of owned it. I liked being different in every setting I ever was. So I would go to Lebanon and I wasn't, completely Lebanese. The Lebanese, I think, are amazing at accepting their diaspora very well. So because there are Lebanese all over the world and not everybody's great at Arabic and not everybody looks typical Lebanese. So they're like, oh, you're Lebanese, and they're just proud and they, embrace you. But I was like, no, I'm a bit different. I always laugh, a bit less plastic. Love you, Lebanon. But didn't have the token tattoo in the 90s, and and then in England, I never felt, even though I was born there and raised there and British mother, I never felt completely English or British. But then I was proud of that too. And then obviously in Cyprus, I feel Cypriot, but I'm not fully. And I just kind of own it. And I tell my kids to own it now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, and what do you tell your kids? Do they identify as being German or do you say as well?
They're quite proud of the Lebanese part in the family.
Okay.
And so they sometimes say I'm a quarter Lebanese.
Yeah, mine do as well. Have they got the
T-shirt?
T-shirt? There's a T-shirt with like half a cedar on it.
No, we have to
You've got to get it. I think it's at the airport.
Funny. So yes, they say quarter Lebanese. They're quite proud of that.
Yeah. Do they speak Arabic?
They used to with my father. My father made the effort of speaking to them in Arabic, and then sadly we lost him.
Yeah.
Almost
so you should
10 years
continue
ago
it.
now.
Yeah.
And we tried, and then they got, school got a bit more intense and very demanding. So, but they're interested. They want to pick it up again.
Yeah.
Yes, they do.
Oh, that's so nice. So what do you love most about the hospitality industry?
The people.
Yeah.
The people, the fact that you haven't got, no 2 days are alike.
Ever.
You don't sit behind a desk. You get to walk around. And you're everywhere. You do everything. It's totally not monotonous. And you get to travel. You can travel the world. And I think the hospitality is one of those sectors that is never going to die. It gets dips. I mean, COVID was the biggest example of how bad it can get. But everybody will always travel. There will always be travelers. Everybody needs a bed at some point, a pillow under their head. So it's one of those sustainable things. Exactly.
So let's talk about women in hospitality because I'm super proud in this hotel that we are 50% of our workforce. Is female. So I'm so proud of that, and I long may it continue. But it's tough. It's tough, and also the higher you get in the ranks, you can see less women there in general in the industry. Not because they're not capable, they're as capable, if not more. But you and I are both mothers. It's tough. It's a 24/7 role. So let's talk a bit about what happened in your life, and then how did you leave the industry, and when with your children, and maybe what can the industry do to encourage more women to come into it and stay into it?
What can the industry do? That's such a tough question.
Such a tough question.
I honestly think no matter what area of work women enter, I think for as long as we are the child bearers, which obviously will never change, I think the overall situation will never change, because that's the way the world works. That's the way nature is. That's the way humanity is. And most of us have a very strong maternal instinct. We want to be the ones at the side of our children when we bring them up, when they're born. Even those that go back, I think they are reluctant to go back, initially at least. And it's very difficult to change that. Super difficult, because we are the child bearers. But it's up to the industry. I think there are several things that can be done, which is childcare at work, to have nurseries where you can bring your baby, your child, your toddler, whatever, until school takes over. Flexible hours, but then hospitality isn't something you can do from home, is it?
No.
So that presents another obstacle. But yeah, for me in particular, it was 2005 when we moved here, because we knew we wanted to have children, and I knew that it wasn't going to be possible. I had a strong maternal wish and instinct, so I knew I didn't want to leave the kids to somebody else to raise them. So we decided together that I was going to take a step back. And my husband was the manager at the Londa at the time, and it worked out really well. It worked out really well, and we're very grateful that we were able to do that.
Yeah, it is. Oh, I mean, children are the biggest blessing, but it's tough. And I know that I was particularly lucky, because being in the position that I'm in, I could quite literally bring my children to work. So I laugh, and I think that's why my son maybe is good at maths, because he spent a lot of time in the accounts department sleeping. He was a good sleeper, so he went into the quiet zone. And Yasmina would literally sit on my lap in heads of department meetings for like 2 hours and just listen. So, but it's tough, because it is a very demanding job, and it is difficult.
But it's great if the kids get the opportunity to see you in action, because you lead by example. You show that it's possible as a woman to do both. And I think generally we can have both, the work-life balance with the children and work, but just not at the same time.
Absolutely. That's why I was saying,
later.
I think Oprah said it, and it's so true. And then there's I think at the beginning with the first child, you always fight it, don't you? Or maybe you knew from the beginning, and you're wiser than me, and you step back. I mean, I was 9 months pregnant, and, until I had my first child, I was, traveling 150, 160 days of the year. So, and I was traveling pregnant with her until the doctor said, that's it,
more.
You're nearly 8 months, you've got to stay home or stay in Cyprus. And I was like, I remember being on the phone. I think I just had her. I was about to give birth, and I said, so, next year I'll be in IMEX, and I'll be in Frankfurt, and I'll be coming to Barcelona. And maybe by the end of this year, I'm going to make this exhibition, and da-da-da-da-da. And then I had this little baby, and I was just, as the weeks passed, I was like, who am I kidding? It's like just attached to you. And it's tough. And so I think, that would definitely be my advice to women listening. Just take a breath and enjoy it for what it is. And you've got the rest of your life to get back to it.
This is exactly it.
So just enjoy those baby moments, because you don't get them back. And those babies need us, and they do. And my husband always says it. He's like, we're at a disadvantage as a father, because we love those children, but, nothing replaces the mother, whatever we do, and the instincts. I mean, they just know that you'll be going in and out of the room, and you'll still be in the house. And as soon as you get out of the room to leave the house without saying anything, they know. And they like click, and it's like, mama, Yeah, it's amazing. So tell us, how has life been then, doing other things and raising your children, but being married to a hotelier? Let's talk about that side.
I always used to joke that I got my daily dose of hotel from my husband when he came home in the evenings. We would always talk about his day, and I did have a hard time in the beginning. I really missed it a lot, and it was a new thing to me to stay at home. I was a workaholic really up until the time that I got married, but I adjusted, and I put my heart into another project. At the time, I just couldn't sit at home.
Yeah.
Happy. it worked out okay.
Well, I know you're definitely very resourceful and energetic. So, I mean, I remember when you did the baby.
Yes, Mums to Be and Baby Expo.
Yeah. So you started doing expos for babies, baby products and
Pregnancy
related. And that was great for me because that was the time I was having my babies, and I bought bags from you. Yes, I've got my two, and they're nice. I still use them as handbags.
Do you really?
Yeah, they're genuinely nice bags.
They are good.
Yeah. So I never gave them away. I gave other obvious baby bags away, but the ones you were bringing are just like nice. I remember at the time people saying, "Where's your baby bag?" And I'm like, "This is it," and it just looked like a handbag. It was amazing.
Yeah, they were good.
They were good. So you did that, and now you are doing Floral Image,
yes,
which we're proud to support here at San Rafael.
Yes, I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Which is amazing. It's sustainable flowers. Tell us a bit about that and how you got into that.
Yes, the flowers are absolutely stunning, if I may say so myself.
Yeah, they really are.
They are incredibly lifelike. It's a rental service, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So every month, different vase, different color, different flower, different style.
Looks completely realistic. You think they're real flowers. Just amazing.
Thank you. Yes, they are. And people love it. People love it because they get all the joy of a flower vase without the hassle that comes with it. You don't have to change the water. So no water, no pollen, no bugs, no maintenance at all, and they look amazing. And if you are in a hotel or in a restaurant, in a pharmacy, in a spa, in a car dealership, no matter where, you want to impress your visitors, you place vases of flowers. So it's a no-brainer, really. Yeah, it's a touch to show that you care. Absolutely. So I wanted to ask you: is there a woman? Well, first of all, if you ever had a mentor, and then is there a woman that maybe you really inspire or has... Funny enough, I was saying yesterday to my husband, Sarah Blakely is for me the poster woman of, being creative, resourceful, achievable. The things she's done, I find her quite remarkable. And I think she's a trailblazer, yes. I think what she's done and how she's done it is very impressive.
Interesting.
Before I heard about Sarah Blakely, it was actually Richard Branson, who I found very inspirational. And
he's just such a nice person.
Oh, he's fantastic. And I had the pleasure of meeting him when I was working at Disney, very briefly, among many other fantastic, influential, and inspirational people that I met. One of them was Richard Branson. So yes, very. How do you say? You want to very inspirational. Basically.
So for your children listening, because I'm sure they are, I should say for your husband as well, but let's focus on the kids for now. And equally, any youngsters listening to this podcast, what would your advice be to those starting out in life and, beginning to take their first steps as adults and studying and leaving home? What would any words of wisdom be?
So many things you can say to them today. I think the most important is to not let yourself be influenced by all the noise, social media, the things you see. Don't believe everything you see. Question everything is something I always tell my boys. Question everything. Don't take anything for granted. And when it comes to taking the first steps, career-wise or whatever, believe in yourself. You can achieve anything you want to. There's nothing you can't do, but you have to be convinced within yourself that you can, and then you can be unstoppable, I think.
Oh, I agree. I actually told my eldest that this morning. I said, you believe in yourself. Never let anyone make you doubt that. That's all you need. So what's your favourite quote?
My favourite quote is always believe that something wonderful is about to happen. And I wrote it down because it's a bit of a longer one. So, but yes, it's always believe that something wonderful is about to happen. And it served me very well over the years. And I do think that you can influence your surroundings, your aura, everything by really having an innate positive attitude.
Definitely.
And if you wake up in the morning and go, "Ooh, what's going to happen today?
Yeah,
it's going to be great." It will.
Can't wait to see. Yeah,
no, that's my attitude in life too.
Yeah, beautiful. I love that. So the bonus question. Let's jiggle those around a bit.
I'm going to take this one.
Thank you.
What is your dream job, and did you follow your dream? And this one's from Elisabeth Sava.
Ah, she just had a baby, actually.
Oh,
so,
congratulations,
yeah.
Elisabeth. That's amazing. Wonderful. My dream job, I think my actual dream job would have been astronaut, really.
Really?
Yes. I always wanted to
that's
see.
A far cry.
Yeah, I always wanted to see the Earth from above. Actually, that's my ultimate. If I could fly, if there's one thing I could do, is see the Earth from above. I don't know why, but that's always followed me. So I guess my dream job is that, but I wouldn't have had the guts to do it. Very
my
simple.
Goodness. Well, I
Very
think Richard
simple.
Branson's trying to develop space travel, isn't he?
Yeah. Among others.
Among others.
Did you hear? They've
and
just
Elon Musk,
recently
I think, as
walked
well.
in space. The space tourism. The capsule just came back 2 days ago.
Oh,
Some billionaire and 3-4 people went up and
imagine.
did a spacewalk and got to see the Earth from above.
I have to say it's definitely not on my to-do list.
No?
No, I can confidently say it's not. No, it doesn't intrigue me. No.
Yeah, like I said, I didn't have the guts to do it either.
I think, I don't know, I just love this Earth and I'm quite happy to have my feet on the ground
keep your feet
and then
here.
explore it from, this side. But I do appreciate those who do so much in the realm of the space industry. Yeah, it's definitely a tough one. So, Carine, thank you so much. Thank you for being on this podcast. Finally, we got to do it. I think we spoke about some really interesting points. And for all those listening, I'm sure there's a lot of people also are mixed backgrounds and in hospitality. Yes. So it's very interesting.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you for listening, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button because it helps us more than you may realise. If you are planning on coming to visit us at St. Raphael Resort and Marina, feel free to email our reservations team quoting Hotel Talk and receive an exclusive offer just for you. We look forward to seeing you soon, hearing your feedback about our show, and producing many, many more interesting episodes just for you, our listener, and our valued guest in mind. Thank you so much, and take care.